Okay, picture this. Back in 2015, if you weren't deeply immersed in the tech industry, you probably weren't talking about a company called NVIDIA. Fast forward to today, they are literally sitting at the absolute center of human progress. We're talking about the modern artificial intelligence evolution, and it's all powered by a hidden foundation that, honestly, almost everyone completely missed. Think about everything from ChatGPT to those autonomous vehicles driving around. Generative AI requires an almost incomprehensible amount of computing power. I mean, we are witnessing unprecedented, massive global investment in data centers right now. And at the very heart of this exploding infrastructure, it's just one company making the chips that make the whole shebang possible. And yeah, that's turned them into one of the most valuable corporations on Earth. But, here's the wild contradiction in all of this. NVIDIA was never actually supposed to become an AI company. Not at all. They started out with a completely different dream, just making video games look better. So how in the world did an underdog graphics company end up controlling the absolute future of AI infrastructure? Part 1. The hidden AI engine, from games to the grid. To understand this incredible pivot, we really have to rewind all the way back to 1993. Three engineers, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem, they founded NVIDIA to solve one specific problem: making computer graphics run faster for the booming PC gaming industry. And look, despite some early market struggles and some incredibly fierce competition, the launch of their very first GeForce graphics cards changed the company's trajectory forever. Now, the real breakthrough here comes down to exactly how they processed information. So traditional computer brains, CPUs, they process tasks sequentially. They handle just one instruction at a time, kind of like a single chef working in a kitchen. But NVIDIA built GPUs, or graphics processing units. By using what's called parallel processing, GPUs could handle thousands of tiny calculations simultaneously. This allowed them to render complex three-dimensional gaming worlds in real time. And this gaming revolution, it was the foundation of absolutely everything. NVIDIA cemented this dominant market position in the rapidly growing PC gaming space. They were wildly successful in their niche. But the crazy part is, almost nobody outside of gaming noticed what happened next. Nobody saw how this parallel processing trick was about to literally change the world. Part 2, the turning point, when NVIDIA realized GPUs could change AI. So the narrative shifts drastically right around 2012. Academic researchers had essentially hit a brick wall with traditional computers. But then they had this massive aha moment. They realized that the exact same parallel computing NVIDIA used to calculate thousands of pixels for a video game, it was perfectly suited for training complex neural networks. See, a GPU doesn't care if it's rendering a digital explosion or processing millions of data points for an AI. It's just incredibly fast at doing many things at once. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, saw this future coming. He noted that the more difficult the problem, the more valuable the solution. So he made this incredibly risky leadership decision to pivot the entire company. He invested heavily in AI years before it was mainstream, basically betting their gaming profits on a future that literally nobody else could clearly see at the time. But here's the thing, NVIDIA's biggest breakthrough was not just the physical chip. Actually, it was something called CUDA. This was the secret weapon that no one saw coming. CUDA is a software ecosystem built by NVIDIA that allowed developers to program these graphics chips for general-purpose computing and AI development, rather than just, rendering graphics in a video game. And this software ecosystem completely explains why competitors can't just copy NVIDIA's chips. By building this software layer, NVIDIA created an impenetrable moat around their hardware. They locked in huge developer numbers and widespread AI research adoption simply because an entire generation of engineers learned to build AI using NVIDIA's specific software language. Once you're in, you're locked in. Part 3. The ChatGPT moment when the world changed. Then, NVIDIA's long-term vision collided perfectly with the explosion of generative AI and OpenAI's large language models. I mean, virtually overnight, traditional gaming revenue was just completely dwarfed by explosive growth in the data center sector. Because every company in the world suddenly wanted to build AI. NVIDIA chips instantly became the essential hidden engine globally, and that sent their valuations skyrocketing into the trillions. Part 4, the billion-dollar battle, NVIDIA versus the world. Of course, success on this massive scale attracts giants. Behind the scenes, the entire tech industry woke up and realized, wait, we are completely dependent on one single company for our most critical infrastructure. So now tech giants and semiconductor rivals, we're talking AMD, Intel, Google, Microsoft, they are pouring billions into developing their own custom chips to reduce that reliance. But man, they are fighting an uphill battle against NVIDIA's massive first-mover advantage and that deeply entrenched CUDA software ecosystem. Part 5. The controversies and risks, the geopolitics of computing power. Now, with so much power concentrated in one place, we really have to objectively look at the risks here. And the most immediate threat? It's physical. NVIDIA designs chips, sure, but they don't physically build them. There is a heavy reliance on manufacturing in Taiwan. And when you combine that with strict U.S. export controls and market restrictions regarding China, it creates a highly fragile bottleneck for the world's most important hardware. Honestly, a single geopolitical event could halt the entire AI revolution. Furthermore, the explosive growth of AI hardware brings up some massive social debates. On one side, this insane computing power unlocks scientific discovery, extreme productivity, and medical innovation. But on the flip side, there are profound, completely valid concerns. We're looking at the enormous energy consumption of these data centers, inevitable job disruption, and just the sheer danger of technological control being concentrated in the hands of a few corporate giants. Part 6. The future. Does NVIDIA control the next industrial revolution? The next decade is going to decide who controls the future, as AI expands way out of the chatbot window into literally every facet of human life. We are rapidly moving from simple text generation into healthcare diagnostics, fully autonomous vehicles, complex scientific research, and automated manufacturing. From robotics to smart cities, the demand for this hidden computing infrastructure, it's only going to compound rapidly by 2030 and beyond. Which really forces us to ask, will AI chips become the new oil? Just think about it. The steam engine powered the industrial age. Electricity powered the 20th century. We must recognize that raw computing power has officially become the modern world's most valuable, essential, and contested resource. With global tech giants actively racing to build their own infrastructure, the ultimate question is who is going to control this immense computing power moving forward? Will NVIDIA maintain its incredible monopoly through its hardware and software moat? Or will the trillion-dollar efforts of its competitors finally break that grip? As we've seen throughout this explainer, NVIDIA's transformation from a scrappy video game graphics startup to the undisputed architect of the AI age is entirely unprecedented. But remember, this isn't just a story about a company. It's a profound reminder of exactly what is at stake in this new era. Because as we look ahead, the future may truly belong to those who control intelligence itself. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching World Decoded. Make sure to like and share, subscribe, and stay curious.